Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Sylvana Rahmawati. I'm from 7th semester in Language Education Department at Universitas Muhammadiyah Pugoraya. So thank you for watching my presentation today. In this video, I will talk about three main things. First, I will explain the Grecian maxims, which are rules that help people communication clearly. And second, I will talk about the idea of humor or jokes and how humor works in our daily life. And third, I will explain why people laugh at certain parts in comedy movie or in stand-up comedy. I will connect this explanation to the Grecian maxims. So I made this presentation using research about maxim violation in humor and stand-up comedy. I hope this presentation can help us understand how language and humor works together. Okay, next, what are Grecian maxims? Okay, before we talk about humor, we need to understand what the Grecian maxims are. Grecian maxims come from Paul Grece, a linguist who introduced this idea in 1975. He said that when we have a conversation, we are not just talking. We are actually working together with the other person. We try to make the conversation easy, clear, and meaningful. This is called the cooperative principle. Okay, to explain this principle, Grece made 4 rules, or what we call maxims. These maxims show how people normally behave in conversations. When we follow these rules, communication becomes smooth. But when these rules are broken, something interesting happens, and sometimes it becomes funny. So understanding this maxim is very important because they help us understand both normal communications and humor. Okay, we're going to next slide. The four Grecian maxims. Okay, there are 4 maxims in Greece theory, and I will explain them one by one with example. The first maxim is the maxim of quantity. So this maxim says that we must give the right amount of information. If we give too little information, our listener will be confused. The listener will be confused. So if we give too much information, the listener may get bored or overwhelmed. For example, when someone asks, "Where are you going?" The simple answer is, "I'm going to school." You don't need to tell your whole plan for the day. The second maxim is maxim of quality. This maxim says that we must say things that are true. We should not lie or say things without proof. In everyday life, people trust each other because they expect honesty in communication. The third maxim is the maxim of relevance. This maxim says that we must stay on topic. Our answer must be connected to what the other person says. For example, if someone asks, "Do you like ice cream?" Answer, "My cat is sleeping." It's not relevant, right? It does not make sense in the conversation. The fourth maxim is the maxim of manner. This maxim says that we should speak clearly. We should avoid confusing words, long explanation, and unclear sentences. Good communication should be simple and easy to understand. These 4 maxims are the basic rules of communication. Most people follow them without thinking, and that is why conversation usually work well. Okay, next slide. The concept of humor or jokes. Now we can move of humor. Humor is something that makes people laugh or smile. Humor can be in stories, jokes, funny videos, or stand-up comedy. Humor is very important in human life because It can make us feel happy, relaxed, and connected with other people. In humor theory, people laugh when something is different from what they expect. Yeah, this is called incongruity. For example, when you expect something normal but something strange happens, you may laugh because it surprises you. Humor can also be a way to keep opinions or social criticisms. Some comedians use jokes to talk about society, politics, or daily problems. In stand-up comedy, humor usually has two parts, the setup and the punchline. Yep. So the setup gives information and builds the listener's expectations. The punchline suddenly changes the meaning or give a surprising ending. This surprise makes people laugh. Okay, next slide is maxim violations as humor. Now we can connect humor with the Christian maxims. Many studies how that comedians often break this maxim on purpose. When they break the rules, the audience feels surprised, and this surprise becomes humor. For example, a comedian breaks the maxim of quantity by giving too much information. They might tell a very long story with many details that are not important because it is too much. It's become funny. Yeah, a comedian may break the maxim of quality by saying something that is clearly not true. For example, they may exaggerate and say, I run faster than a car. The audience knows it is not true, so they laugh. Okay. And a comedian may break the maxims of relevance by giving an answer that does not match on the topic. This unexpected answer makes the joke surprising. A comedian may break the maxim of manner by using confusing or ambiguous words. This audience needs to think for a moment to understand it, and when they understand, they laugh. Yeah. So breaking the maxim creates surprises, and surprises create humor. Yeah. So next slide is why do people laugh? Okay. This is answer. Yeah. People. What? Oh yeah. People laugh because the comedian changed their expectations. In normal conversation, we expect people to follow the four maxims. We expect people to tell the truth, stay on topic, speak clearly, and give the right amount of information. But when a comedian breaks these rules, our brain tastes something different. We feel surprised, and this surprise becomes funny. For example, when a comedian gives an answer that is not related to the question, the audience does not expect it. So they find it funny, yeah? Or when the comedian uses exaggeration, like saying something impossible, the audience understands that it is a joke. So another reason people laugh is because they understand hidden meaning. When a maxim is broken, the audience tries to find the real meaning behind the word. When they understand the hidden meaning, they laugh. Yeah, the hidden meaning, they laugh. This is called implicator. So laughter happens because our expectations are broken and we enjoy the surprise. Okay, next slide is example from research. So from academic article I use, they are example of how comedian breaks maxims. This article study Indonesian American stand-up comedies. Some Indonesian comedians like Abdur often break the maxims of quality. He uses exaggeration and strong statements to talk about social issues. Yeah. Because he says things that are not literally true. People laugh. American comedian Kevin Hart, often break the maxims of quantity. He tells long stories with many details. The extra details makes the story funnier. Yep, the articles show that breaking maxims is not an accident. It is a strategy that comedians use to make people laugh and to deliver message in a funny way. Okay, we are in the last slide. Conclusion. So, in conclusion, the Grecian maxims help us understand how normal communications works. We expect people to follow these rules when they talk. But humor happens when these rules are broken on purpose. Breaking the maxim creates surprise, confusing, and this surprise makes people laugh. Stand-up comedians use this technique to make their jokes stronger and to communicate ideas in a funny and interesting way. By understanding these maxims, we can understand how humor in conversation, movies, and comedy shows. So, thank you everyone. Thank you very much for listening to my presentations. I hope you learned something new about language, humor, and Grecian maxims. This topic shows us that language is not only for speaking, but also for making people laugh and feel connected. Yep, thank you again. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye everyone. Bye.